Yeah. A bit of cream. I don't want to spoil it for the next man. Ooh.
Well, Paul, one day down, 6 to go. What's your feelings about yesterday?
Firstly, thanks for reminding me that I've still got 6 more days, John. Just a superb tonic on a Monday morning. Yeah, I think yesterday started easy. I felt really good over the first 3 summits, and then suddenly lost the plot on the 4th one. So apologies to Joe, because I think I went quite quiet for most of the climb. But the 5th one was a bit of a tonic, with Richard stepping in at the very last minute to give me company on the climb, so that's really appreciated. If I'm honest, my legs feel pretty achy this morning. On top of that, I feel pretty exhausted, so I'm not really looking forward to the next 4 hours going down to Professor and back. But I've read books about people who do a lot more than what I'm trying to do, so I just have to focus on, I've got form, done this type of stuff before, and I've got to be as positive as I can. Hopefully my spirits will rise as the run goes on, and I begin to feel that it's hurting, it might be a little bit slow, but I'm getting it done.
7:59, I can't see seconds. Go.
Okay, thank you.
Go.
Okay.
Go, 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 go!
Will you be wanting any stuff? Will you want any stuff? I lost you before. Do you need any stuff? Because I'm shooting off now. Okay. So that's the first Bethesda marathon out the way. How did it feel, Paul?
Well, I have to say, John, it was a pleasant surprise in the end. When you asked me the question how I was feeling yesterday morning, I was pretty down. Really didn't know whether I could actually run on my sore legs. But within the first 100 to 200 metres, I suddenly realised there was nothing to worry about. I felt far better than I was expecting to. The run itself went pretty well, probably a little bit too fast at times. I think I did a 5:42 for a kilometre split a couple of times. But I did do as I planned. I ran all the way down to Bethesda, but just walked 4 or 5 of the stiffest hills on the way back. Maybe cost me a couple of minutes, but I was still really pleased to get back in. I think it was just under 3 hours 53 in the end. Then I had a little bit of a recovery in the cafe, tried to get what food that I could in. Gabby had it all ready for me as soon as I walked through the door, which was very good. Then they decided to show, well, they didn't really decide to show me the pots. I walked behind the kitchen and saw the pots. They were clearly in a bit of a rush, so I got onto the pot washer for half an hour. And I actually think that probably did me a bit of good because it kept the legs moving. And then when I started off for Shabbat at 1 o'clock, I was quite happy that the day was going to end pretty early, all going to plan. Shabbat was a bit slower than Sunday, 1:41, but I took it easy, walked the main hill early on, and then ran all the way back down from the summit. So all in all, pretty pleased with the day. Had physio last night, Sam at Bontvie down in Bettus, gave me a pummeling. She said she was not going to go deep, but it certainly felt deep to me. But this morning I feel probably better than I did this time yesterday, so I'm optimistic for today. And today I've got company, certainly for the Bethesda run, from Richard Roberts. So I'm looking forward to seeing Richard again after his great effort late on Sunday.
Good morning, Paul. First of all, congratulations. We're past the halfway mark now.
Thank you.
I didn't catch up with you yesterday, so we've got 2 days to comment now. First day with Richard. How did it go?
Before I answer that question, John, I'm just going to say something else, I think. The key thing I'm doing this for is to actually raise money for Reach Out For Nepal, to raise where we're trying to help fund build a new school in the village of Trock. On the way home last night, I picked up the Guardian newspaper just to glance at in the evening, and there was a statistic in there about world wealth and how it's distributed. And the one standout fact was not how many new millionaires there are in this country or that country, or how many fewer there are in whatever country, which was covered in the article. It's that 55% of the population of the whole world only owns 1.3% of its wealth. So the message really from that to me says, the next time I look at my bank account, or we look at our bank accounts and worry about our futures, maybe we all should actually say, no, we need to worry about other people's futures just as much, if not more, than ourselves. So, sorry, John, but if we go back to Tuesday with Richard, it was quite a good day, I think. Richard and I were chatting from early on the run, and that carried on and off for the whole 22 miles to Bethesda and back. That allowed us to not really focus on pace, and it made the time actually quite pleasant. It was about 10 or 11 minutes faster than the day before, despite the sun coming out on the way back and it feeling quite hot. The return was pretty difficult for me. Maybe I overcooked it, or maybe the sun overcooked it, but we got back to the cafe a bit earlier than planned, and from there we had about an hour and a quarter break and then went up Shabod. I think that set the scene for Shabod, not just for Tuesday but also for Wednesday. Early on, you leave the cafe, your legs are aching, very tired, and you're thinking, do I really want to go up there? But as soon as I started to walk rather than run, which was my decision for the first main hill, things became relatively manageable and easy, and we had a great afternoon up on Shabod. I came down running with confidence, not necessarily with great speed, but it's quite technical descent in many ways, and there was never a feeling I was going to fall. Obviously you were up there to film me a little bit as well, John, so that was good. Thank you, and also to Andy, who was up there with you. And it was good to set a time of under 1:35. So all in all, got back into the cafe feeling quite strong, and certainly a lot more positive than I felt since I started this adventure.
Okay, on to the next day. Haven't seen you since then, so how did
set off reasonably confident. When we were having breakfast, Mike and I, at about 6 o'clock in the morning, we looked outside the cafe windows and it was a beautiful morning. But then I received a response to an email that I sent out to a few friends from Hugh Price, and he mentioned that the weather forecast for Bethesda was 11 or 12 degrees and light drizzle. And true to form, as we finished breakfast, the cloud began to come in from the west. But I wasn't perturbed by that, or the midges outside that were waiting for us during the normal photo shoot. And the first part of the run went pretty well. I then got a very pleasant surprise. I think I was about 15k into the run, and a van was driving towards me on the back lane down in the Lantrancon, and behind that was a car. And when the car came to me, there was a smiley face waving at me, and it was Geffen Armstrong. I duly ran past him after having a quick chat. He turned his car around, drove past me again, parked up about 200 or 300 metres ahead of me, and then began getting ready with his running kit. So that was a pleasant surprise, because I hadn't heard from Geffen in the 2 days prior to that, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to see him on the day. So for him to turn up 15k in was a bit of a tonic. So we then ran together for the further 21k back to the cafe. Pace was pretty good, slightly down on the day before, and again, returning from Bethesda, it seems to be the hard part of the day for me at the moment. I'm feeling okay, but mentally it's feeling like quite a long slog. Good break for lunch, and from there Again, same as the day before, started the run up Shavelled, felt really bad early on for the first 2 or 3 minutes. As soon as I broke it down into a walk and a light jog here and a walk and a light jog there, it became enjoyable despite us going up into the rain and the mist. Again, from the descent, it just felt really positive, and I was absolutely bubbling with enthusiasm when I got back down to the cafe. Really felt that I'd not just turned the corner, but for the second day running after another long day, I was actually feeling very good, and that's really the way that day ended.
Okay, good luck for today. I believe Mike's with you today.
Yeah, Mike's coming out with his mountain bike, so he's got that on his sat nav, so if he wants to go ahead for a bit and then meet me up further down the road, then he can. So looking forward to that. And then obviously this afternoon, Doreena's going to come up Shavelled with me, so it looks like a good day ahead. Later, John.
Okay. See you.
Hi, Bob. Hello. Take care. That's great. And there's Eric doing a bit of sport as well. It's Paul, yep. Just finished going in the quarries now. Or coming out the quarry, should I say. Fleet quarries. Yeah, from here he's got a nice sort of switchback down to the road and then up to Ogwen. Just a bit to the top now, Ogwen Cottage, which is up there. Cracking, Paul. Yeah. Off-road all the way now. Here he comes. And the last stretch now. Well done, Paul.
I'll run the next hill, and then the second hill I'll walk and take an energy bar.
Alright, mate, you take care. See you now. Just look at that view, eh? Look at that. He's got all that to look forward to. Fantastic. Fantastic. He said he's aiming for sub 345, which he'd be happy with, so good luck to that. Go on, Paul, go for it. Let's save a bit for Shabbat.
Did you enjoy it?
I did indeed, thank you John, a lovely day for it, nice and cool at the top and sunshine and clear views by the time we got there, so yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
100%.
Okay, Paul, first thing, congratulations. Yesterday was 2 PBs for the week. So that's well done. If you'd like to talk us through yesterday and then your thoughts on the last bit on tarmac today.
Okay, well, yeah, yesterday was a bit of a varied day. We started off, me and Mike, in light drizzle, misty conditions, really couldn't see any views. As we ran past Clynogwen, we couldn't even see the other side of the lake. And yet, when we started to run down to Bethesda, the world started to open up, the sun came out, and what began as ideal running conditions turned into something a little bit hot on the way back. But it did feel really quite good. Yeah, the slog back from Bethesda was better than the previous 2 days, but still quite difficult. But once I got to Clynogwen, I really began to felt, right, this is the 4th day in the bag now, a lot more confident, and I began to actually accelerate. And after a quick refuel on the final hill on the back road, I then just enjoyed it. I really did enjoy the run. The last 4 or 5k, I put the hammer down, actually felt like I was in a race rather than just out for another long run, and got back to the cafe on a real high. Usual thing, refueling, not that easy but better than previous days, and then went out with Dorina on to Shabod. Not exactly to plan. I was trying to set a pace that would be roughly okay for hopefully Rebecca's attempt to do 5 back-to-back with me on Saturday, but Dorina obviously had other ideas. She was flying from the start. I had to hold her back. Didn't really succeed at that, so set another PB on the Shabod up and down for the week. Not as fast as the fastest ones on Sunday, but it still felt really good. Dorina and I both enjoyed ourselves. Running past people on the way down, it just gives you a high to know that A, you can do it, but B, you can do it at the end of a relatively long week. Just feels a bit special, and puts some of the pain of the last few days into perspective. It's not real pain, it's just exhilarating to be able to say, I'm actually enjoying it now. So yeah, a lot of positives yesterday, John. Rounded it off with physio, that again was painful, but again not as bad as Monday and Tuesday's physio. And then an impromptu evening with Barry and Jackie, who Doreen and I met out on the Everest Marathon a 1.5 years ago. Definitely a glass of wine or two too much, but so what? That's life, isn't it?
Okay, and your thoughts for today? It's a bit claggy out there, but
thoughts for
the
today,
supporters have already arrived. So
thoughts for today: go out there and enjoy it. Slack off on the pace a little bit, just to make sure that nothing goes wrong for the final day tomorrow. My main concerns really now are: you've done the hard work. Don't be stupid and take a tumble that could wreck 5 days of good effort in one stupid mistake. So I want to enjoy today, and I want to come back safely and set myself up with Rebecca and whoever else comes along to join us tomorrow. And on that score, you know, we really hope that people do come along and support Reach Out For Nepal throughout Saturday. That is the main day. We know that Ian Dracey's Mol Shabod Sportif has already raised over £8,000, so that puts my efforts into perspective, where we're probably only at about 1,500 to 2,000. But the whole thing collectively is just in a great cause. So thank you for everyone who's been following it and all taking part and helped me.
okay, thanks for that, and enjoy the day as best you can. Thank you.
John.
Thanks very much. Summary of the week and why we're actually doing this.
Well, the main reason is to raise money, obviously, for Nepal, and in particular the Prox school that's due to be built through the rest of 2021, with probably completion by early 2022. The budget for that school is about 40,000. We've already raised in excess of 30,000 towards it, so we're expecting or hoping that this year's fundraising will complete the build works for that, or at least the budget for the build works for that. We really do need to put it in perspective. Our own problems in the Western world are just insignificant compared to countries like Nepal, where the people are just wonderful, but they seem to face natural disaster after natural disaster. So all I can say is I'm going to enjoy today's run, but tomorrow is the main Reach Out for Nepal day. Please come along to the cafe, enjoy yourselves, donate, contribute, just have a great day at the cafe. It'll be our 7th or 8th year, and we just hope it'll be as good as the ones prior to COVID.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. Big smile. Okay, cool. No, another one.
Conspiracy theory here.
Okay, good morning, Paul. Final day. What were your thoughts on yesterday? Because there was some really foul weather about, and the final day today. What's your thoughts going to be about today?
Well, I think, as you know, John, yesterday didn't quite go as easily as I thought it was going to. Started off well. It was nice temperature, a bit damp. But then once I got to Bethesda, things began to go downhill. The weather really did come in. Despite putting a jacket on, my body temperature went down pretty fast, and the slog back up to the Mount Franklin was decidedly awful, to say the least. But I was very lucky. I had Geffen with me, and I got to hand it to him. He was great. He knew I was feeling like shite, really, and he cajoled me through without putting too much pressure on, kept smiling all the time, and things did finally get better, so I could put in a bit of a sprint finish and do the leg, doing a PB for the week. So you've got to be positive about that, but I must admit it was a hard slog in the morning. Then obviously we had the normal turnaround here, and Barry and I went up Shabod in the afternoon. Conditions were really crap. But we kept moving, never felt it was dangerous or anything like that, but we did take a lot of care on the way down. Hopefully Barry's now introduced to the mountain and knows how to navigate himself off the summit, which certainly yesterday was not easy. But all in all, despite my legs being trashed by a slow over-braking descent, I've recovered overnight. Legs and feet feel a lot better than they did this time, or not this time, but at the end of yesterday. So I'm positive. 5 more. Not looking forward to it, if I'm honest, but I've got a lot of pride to look forward to if I can just knuckle down and get it done. Becca's coming out with me for the 5 times, hopefully. Tim and Catherine have turned up, so I've got support already, and no doubt there'll be a support through the day. So what's not to look forward to, really?
Oh, great. Have a good day, Paul. Okay.
Have a good day.
Well done.
There's only one thing to do, John. I'm at 197 miles after 7 days. I will regret it if I wake up tomorrow morning and I haven't rounded it up to 200 tonight. So I'm off on that, and hopefully Mike can generate a few more donations once the auction and the quiz gets underway.
Okay, go for it.
See ya.
See ya.
Careful out there.